This is question number 6 on homework number 15. The question says, find the measurement of both x and y. Interesting. So I'm going to start by just focusing on x first, and then we'll do y second after that. So we'll do 2 separate problems here. So first thing I need to do is match up my corresponding sides. So I can pick any 2 angles and match them up over here. So I'm going to start with angle mark 2 to angle mark 1. I'm going to call that tick mark 1. Then find the same sign over here, angle mark 2 to angle mark 1. We're going to call that side 1. Then I'm going to do 2 to 3, and I'm going to call that tick mark 2. Over here, 2 to 3, tick mark 2. And then the last side, 3 to 1, I'm going to call 3. And 3 to 1, I'm going to call 3. Like we talked about in class, it doesn't matter that I chose 1 tick mark for these sides. I could have put this as 2 as long as I put this as 2. I could have put this as 3 as long as I put this as 3. So they just have to match. It doesn't matter what number you use. So I'm going to try to find x first. So x is this side right here. So I can put that in my missing value. And x has 3 tick marks. So I'm going to match it up with the 3 tick marks over here, which would be 7. Then I need a known side from this triangle that matches up with a known side from here. Well, my known side, I only have one known side, which is 4. Y I cannot use because I don't know that. So I'm going to use the 4 for the known side. And 4 has 2 tick marks, which matches up here over with 6. And then I can multiply by 4, and I'm left with 4 times 7 would be 28 divided by 6. And 28 divided by 6, I believe, will give us a decimal. And we get 4.6 repeating decimal 6. So I can just say 4.6, and then the little line over the top like we talked about in class because it repeats. So that's my value for x. So I can now plug that in, 4.6 repeating decimal. And then for y, since I'm going to find that second, I can set up my ratio again. This time y is my missing value, so I'm going to put y up here. Y has 1 tick mark, so I'm going to match it up with 1 tick mark over here, which would be 8. Then I need a known side from the same triangle. So this time I could use the 4.6. That's a little bit weird to have a repeating decimal as my known side, and it's a little harder to work with. So I'm just going to use the 4 again. And 4 has 2 tick marks. It matches up with the 6 that also has 2 tick marks. And so now I can solve for y. So times 4 times 4. This cancels. 4 times 8 would be 32 equals y divided by 6. And on our calculator, we can go ahead and multiply or divide 32 divided by 6. And we get 5.3 repeating decimal. So our y value right here is going to be 5.3. So let's take a look at those ratios and see if they make sense. We have the 2 tick marks is the smallest one, then the 3 tick marks is slightly larger, and the 1 tick mark is the biggest. So it should go in order from 2 to 3 to 1, from small to medium to large. So let's check that over here, 2, 3 to 1. So 2 is 6, that's the smallest. 3 is 7, that's the middle one, and then 1 tick mark is 8, that's the largest one. So our numbers seem to make sense. They're in proportion to the other ones.